guys, it's Scotty. I just got done with day 4 of the Shift Shop. I'm at my daughter's school right now, picking her up for a dentist appointment. Her and I are going into the dentist. But right now I'm grateful for the ability to do a quick workout. Today's workout was only 25 minutes in and out. Just push play, crush the workout, run out the door, and we can get it done quickly. So as a father of 5, I know how important time is. You guys probably know how important time is as well. And so I'm just grateful for the ability to do workouts like that and do it so quickly. So I titled this video, "You Make Me So Mad." And I titled it that way because I want to recommend something to you that's helped me. And I thought about it this morning because, oh, someone put an angry smiley thing up there. So I was thinking about it, about this topic because yesterday I was on the phone call with one of my good friends, and he lives over on the East Coast, and we were talking about some things in our life. You know, he was talking specifically about him needing to forgive himself, needing to forgive other people, and how some things that some people were doing were making him so mad. And I think about times in my life, and something that helped me is a 4-part audio series called Staying in Love, okay? It's called Staying in Love by Andy Stanley. So look that up. Someone comment below, maybe share one of his videos from YouTube. Andy Stanley, Staying in Love. There's part 1, part 2, part 3, and part 4. So it's specifically for relationships, for boyfriend, girlfriend, fiancés, husband, wife, but this concept can apply to any type of relationship that you are in your life. And one of the things that it talks about in there, you have to watch the way that he presents it in part number 3. Chris, dang it. But in part number 3, he says, he's talking about these beads and talks about how you'll have to watch it. There's a jar of beads, the blue beads and the pink beads, and they hit together, and there's like a little argument, and blue beads fall out, which represents the man. Pink blue beads fall out, which recommend the girl. And the man's like, you make me so mad when you do that, and they hit the jar together and the beads fall out. But anyhow, it got me thinking this morning as I was sharing that with him, that, you know, when things come out of us, when anger comes out of us, when hurt comes out of us, there's that saying, hurting people hurt people, hurting people hurt people. And I was thinking about that, and with that being said, when that happens, the way to cure that is not fixing the other person, it's healing your own heart, making sure that you're okay on the inside. And so I was talking about this with my friend just the other day, and as we were talking about this, it really helped him kind of see that, and I recommended that series for him to watch. I've watched it twice. Gabby and I have watched it together as well. But it's really easy, and I wrote a post about this yesterday, but it's really easy to see faults or see the wrong in other people. It's very hard to see it in ourselves. And this series really helps you understand that concept, that it's very easy to spot out, point out, identify, see the bad or poor things in other people. Very hard to see that in ourselves. So with that being said, what I was talking about yesterday, I was thinking back to when Gabby worked at the Hilton Garden Inn. And, you know, she worked the front desk, and there was this sign, there's this little thing where you could put papers in. There's pencils and paper and a little thing to put it in, a little plastic tub. And it said something like, catch somebody doing something right. And I used to think, and I think about it right now, that's such an amazing concept inside of a company. It's such an amazing concept that you can apply inside of your business or inside of your life with your loved ones, with your parents, with your siblings, with your kids, with your spouse, with a boyfriend, girlfriend. It's such an amazing concept that you can apply because it's so easy, like I said, to identify things that people aren't doing right. So this concept with Hilton is you identify an employee, you write their name down, say that something that they did right, and you point that out and you put that down. So as you think about that, I think it's so often in life we want things to go perfect for us. We want everything to be right, everything to be good, that we take for granted all of the good things that are actually happening to us, or all the good things that are happening inside of our family, inside of your relationship with your kids, whether they're like mine, 10, 8, 6, 4, and 2, or whether they are in their teenage years. You expect everything to be right, and you want that so bad that you miss out and take for granted all the things that are actually right and all the things that are actually going good. And you identify and point out, and I guess you would say nag to your spouse or to your kids everything that you find that they're doing poorly. And I want you to think about, how does that make you feel? When's the last time, think about in your life, when's the last time somebody pointed out something, a poor choice that you made, or a mistake you made, or maybe you were tired or grouchy or sick and you snapped, or you said something you shouldn't say? Like, you already feel bad about that. How does it feel when somebody else points that out to you? And then on the other hand, how does it feel when somebody comes along and says, like, I see many of you guys on here. If, let's say I see Chris on here, I see Leanne. Let's say Chris, I see Leanne and her daughter Bethany on here. Let's say Bethany just says to her daughter Bethany, I see how hard you are working with your studies and at your job. Like, I'm really impressed with the effort that you're putting in. Like, how often do we do that versus saying, like, hey, I saw that you're hanging out with, like, yes, we should help people and correct them, but there's a correct way to correct people. And one thing that I love that, and see if I can remember off the top of my head, because I wasn't going to talk about this, was we were at a family reunion with Gabby's parents, and Gabby's parents sat down all of the adults, and we had like a family council, and they taught us about economics and the importance of taking care of your finances and your debt, and being smart with that. But then they went on to talk about like disciplining people, like disciplining your children. And there's a difference between, I can't remember the exact words they used, but there's a difference between disciplining them and shaming them, or something like that. Not shaming, it was a different word. If I remember, I'll come back and say it. But there's a difference between those two things. You can be strong with somebody, but you don't have to put them down or make them feel worse than they might already feel in the situation that they're already in. So I want you guys to remember that when you lift people up, when you can spot and identify, like at the Hilton, the good that people are doing, when you focus on something, it magnifies. So if you want your spouse to become a better person, or you want your team to become better people, or you want your children to become better people, yes, you need to help them be disciplined in their choices and their actions, but you must focus on the behaviors that you want them to expand in their life. So identify, look for the things that are good, that they are doing good, and when you compliment them on that, you will help energize that person to continue doing good things. And I'm not saying that to say that, like, we need to be validated, or you as a spouse needs to be validated, or your kids need to be validated, because we need to teach them that the only acceptance they need is of themselves. But you will energize the people around you if you can point out the good that they're doing versus point out the things that you think that they're not doing correctly. So hope this helps somebody in some way or form. I got to get to the dentist. I hope you guys have an incredible day. Have an amazing day, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.